All, welcome back to our channel. So students, in this video we will discuss the summary explanation of the lesson, the felling of the banyan tree. The students who are pursuing your second semester under Osmania University, either BCom, BBA, BSc, any stream, in English is a common language, so common subject for all streams. So the first lesson you are having, first poem you are having in your syllabus is the felling of the banyan tree. So the total lesson we will discuss in this video, ma. So whatever the question it might be asking from this lesson, the answer is same, that is summary. Okay, so here the felling of the banyan tree, the lesson was written by author Dilip Chitre. Okay, about the author compulsory you need to learn it, ma. Okay, who is he, where is born, what are the skills he is having, everything you need to understand it. So Dilip Chitre was renowned Marathi poet and writer. So Dilip Chitre, he is one of the most famous and a popular writer in Marathi. Okay, so he was born on September 17, 1938 in Baroda, India. In India on 1938 September 17 he was born. Okay, he writes in both English and Marathi. So whatever the writing is there, whatever the poems is there, whatever the novels is there, he will write in the both the languages, that is English and Marathi. Okay, so Chitre published over 40 books of poetry in Marathi. So the person, means the author Chitre, was published 40 books in the Marathi language. Okay, Traveling in a Cage 1980 was the first and only both of English poems. So the Traveling in a Cage is the first poem in both English and Marathi languages. Okay, he received Satya Academy Award for his collection Ikun Kavita. So he received an award of Sahiti Academy. Okay, Sahiti Academy Award. Okay, next one, and the last one is Chitre passed away suffering from cancer on December 10, 2009 in Pune, India. So later he was died because of the health complication of cancer on December 10, 2009. So this is about the author, where he was born, when he was born, what are his novels, what are his awards, what are his skills, okay, when he was died. So this is the total information about the author. Okay students, so now the theme of the lesson. Theme is nothing about the total summary. Okay, the story of the summary. The felling of banyan tree focuses on drastic decision made by poet's father. So this is the real incident happened in poet's life. The whatever the banyan tree story is there, this is the real incident which the father, which the author is get to know in his childhood days. So there is a drastic decision his father did when he was in childhood. Okay, what is the decision? The decision involves the demolition of houses on a hill and cutting down of a centuries old mythical banyan tree, shifting from Baroda to Bombay. So this decision, whatever is involving is there, means, so whatever the hills type trees are there, whatever the houses are there, he was demolishing every single house and trees which is very old trees. Okay, for shifting from Baroda to Bombay. So leaving behind the memories connected with old parental ancestral house where he grew up. So whatever the author has thought, that whatever ancestral memories and things will be there, he will miss everything. So because everyone is cutting down their trees and demolishing their houses, no, so whatever the memories were there, so everything were collapsed by the author. So the decision was taken by the author's father. Okay, that is Dilip's father. This is about the theme of the story. So coming back to the story, what is the story means? The father of the poet, author, ordered the tenants to vacate their rented house. Thereafter the woodcutters started cutting the trees and clearing the landscape. So the father, whatever the Dilip's father is there, he was not asked, he was ordered the tenants, the tenants who were in the home. So they were asked to leave their home. Okay, so to vacate their home. After vacating the tenants, they were starting cutting down the trees and everything, clearing the landscape. Means whatever the trees are there, everything they were cutting down, they were demolishing all the houses. Okay, in this process all the trees were cut one by one. So because of this process all the trees are cutting down one by one. Okay, so many scat and medical trees are also included in that. So there is a rare trees in that which is used in medicines. So that type of trees also being cutted by the Dilip's father. Okay, all the vacated houses were demolished except the one in which the poet's family lived, and a banyan tree which is considered scared by their grandmother cutting down the huge banyan tree, that one. So every house whatever the tenants has vacated, that all houses were demolished, all the trees were demolished. So except one, the one which poet's family is living, except that house everything were collapsed. And in that poet house there was a big old banyan tree. The banyan tree age is 200 years. Okay, this all you need to include it in the answer ma. Okay, so what is saying, they are saying that there was a old banyan tree in the poet's house, and poet's grandmother, means Dilip's grandmother, was very close to that tree, and she asked that, she was saying that you should not cut down that tree because it is a very old tree, like that her grandmother is said that. Okay, so then here cutting down the huge banyan tree, the one that stood so tall, whose roots were so deep, here there was a big problem, because whatever the root, because 200 years old, that is the roots whatever is there, it is very big, it was under the ground, very big roots were there, so the roots were so deep in the down. So even going against the words of the grandmother, that the trees were scattered. So here her grandmother was saying and suggesting everything, you should not cut down the tree, but still nobody listened that to the grandmother, and finally the banyan tree were cut down. Okay, so and they do not cut the tree of the banyan tree as well. So the tree was 3 times bigger than the poet's house, with 50 feet circumference trunk. So the tree height is more than 3 times of their poet's house. So the banyan is not easy to tumble it down, because it is a huge height, it will be, no. So it was unable to cut down there. So what that did means, it's whatever the roots are there touching the ground were 30 feet along. The roots are 30 feet along, so deep roots are there. So the cutter first started cutting the branches and twigs. So the cutters, what they have thought that they were cutting the branches first, so that it will be easy for them to demolish easily. Okay, as a result, insects and birds began to leave the tree continuously. So whatever the species tree whatever the many species and insects and birds will be there in that trees, no, so it is leaving that. Okay, the place turned into a heap of the logs, giving a strange look, difficult to be recognized and familiar with everyone came to see the ring. So it was happened and everybody is coming to see that. So it was saying that they were showing the age of the banyan tree as about 200 years plus old. So the banyan tree age is more than 200 years. Okay, the poet together with his others see the slaughter and desertion in horror and speechless. When they are cutting the banyan tree, it was very terrible to see, and it was very horrible and speechless. Whatever the people are there around surrounded it, they were speechless. Soon afterwards, they pack up the things and leave for Bombay. Now Mumbai. Now the place of the Bombay is Mumbai, no? So after that, they were packed everything and they were leave to Mumbai. That is, in that time it is Bombay, where there were no trees. The spring comes without any flowers. Whatever the place where they are living in Bombay, there was no trees at all. And the spring season, when spring season will come, flowers will be there, no, but spring will come without flowers. So that is the environment they are having there. If someone was there, it was only in the dream. There are skyscrapers and congested flats, and man remains concerned only with the jobs mechanically. The poet is saying that whatever the flats over there is there, no, it was very congested, and the people who are living in that are very like robotic type. They were doing their jobs, eat, sleep, do job, and eat, sleep, do job, everything like that only it was happening. So this is the poet said at last. So the conclusion of the poem, what is, whatever the unprunedness and destruction of ecosystem is seen in the poem, the speaker moving home coincides with the tree being cut down. So here the conclusion part is saying that killing trees for profit in the name of progress leads to destruction of environment. Yes or no? So because of your selfish nature you are cutting down your trees. Yes or no? So it leads to the environmental destruction. When environment is destructed, automatically floods, tsunamis, everything will comes, no? So to create something is difficult, but to destroy is easier. See what a beautiful quote it is. To create something, it might be difficult, but to destroy it is easy. Within a seconds we can destroy. Banyan tree took more than 200 years to build that one, that much height, width, roots, everything. But while cutting down, one day is more than enough, right? So that's why creating is difficult, but destroying is easy. Okay. Okay. So this is about the banyan tree. I hope that you have got clarity. So whatever the question they might be asking in the examination, only this summary part about the lesson, everything you need to include it, except especially banyan tree age, why they are cutting, everything. So this is all about the video. I hope that you have got clarity. Let me know in the comment section whether you have understood or not. So see you all in next video. Bye bye everyone.